don't even know if I'm all the way awake because I woke up maybe like an hour ago. Y'all, I be getting some good sleep. Like, I be getting some sleep. Like, I don't tell people have insomnia and not able to sleep. Granted, I know it happens sometimes, right? Where your mind is really busy, you just can't fall asleep or you can't remain asleep. But for me, I've been sleeping good, y'all. I don't know what time I went to bed last night. What time did I go to bed? I'm eating this for you guys who take issue with me eating on camera. Somebody haven't already commented. It's like, ew, stop munching on food while you're on video. It's disgusting. Well, guess what? Guess what? So delicious. And I'll go smack on purpose. Like, you guys really think I give a damn about what you think? Unless, of course, you invest in my videos or my channel, then I might take consideration as to, like, what you think about how I make my videos. But until then, I will eat what I want, when I want, how I want, on camera, and it's nothing you can do about it. Y'all love this shirt. These colors are just still so vibrant. Good morning. It is 7:30 in the morning, New York time. And I am with the shits in the morning, you guys. I'm a morning person, by the way. Some people, they just drag their day out and they're tired and lay in the bed. Like, somebody's gonna say to me, you're up early. This was, I think, yesterday. I was like, I think it's maybe like 6:37. I was like, you're up early. I was like, early? This isn't early. 6:30 is not early. It's like, it's early for the weekend. I was like, well, guess what? I'm a morning person, and I'm excited to wake up in the mornings. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited to see a new day and to get started. So here we are, and I am with the shits early in the morning. I woke up with this topic in mind, and not only that, I think I went to bed with it in mind too. I just been thinking about it. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. I want to tell you guys about my previous polyandrous experience. It's funny to me, y'all. When I think about it, when I go back and reflect down memory lane, I think about my experiences in relationships and dating. I ask myself, I say, damn, have I been in a polyandrous relationship before? And it dawned on me that I actually have. I've been in a polyandrous relationship before, you guys. Now, polyandry, for you guys don't know, is a mutual relationship. It's a mutual agreement between 3 or more people, where the woman, of course, is the center focus, and she has 2 or more husbands or male partners, right? Now, I want to make a distinction between polyandrous relationship or polyandry and polyamorous, right? Because there is a difference. And I remember my colleagues, right, they came across, I guess, my blog or some of my videos, and they were just like, oh, polyamory. I was like, no, I'm not polyamorous. I am interested in polyandry, and that's my business. Like, it's nothing to do with you guys. has nothing to do with you guys. Because, yeah, those are my colleagues. You know, you guys know I'm trained to become a clinical psychologist. So, you know, you got people that, you know, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, so I have to make that distinction, because sometimes people get it, like, they get it misconstrued, and they sometimes think, like, people who are interested in polygamy, right? Or polygyny for the men who have more than one female partner, and then polyandry for women who have more than one male partner. They assume that, oh, it's about sex now, you just a freak and you just want to fuck. And no, guys, you guys are completely missing the point here. And it's sad to see, like, how sometimes people kind of just reduce polygamous relationships to just sex. That is so boring, you guys. You guys have no life. Like, you have no excitement. If that's the only thing, I guess, that tickles your fancy when it comes to polygamous relationships. Like, sex is cool and all, but it goes deeper than sex, guys. So, let me go down memory lane while I enjoy my fruit, my morning fruit. So, I had to think, because I'm like, damn, how old was I? I was under 25. Let's say I was 24. And I'm 36, guys. I had to think. I was like, dang, you gotta count back. Like, this was 2007, 2008-ish. Let's say 2008. It's 2008. So I was 24. About 24. I was young. Like I said, I'm 36. I'll be 37 this month. Your girl is just getting up there. I'm climbing up that ladder, y'all. But, sometimes we live life. This is the thing. I realize, like, we live life, and sometimes we don't realize, like, how adventurous we are. How adventurous, like, I know for myself, like, I've lived an adventurous life. Like, I reflect back sometimes. Sometimes I pause, because, like, I'm always, like, of course, we're always on the go. We're always just, like, accomplishing dreams and working towards our goals. Like, I'm very goal-driven to the point where sometimes I forget, like, damn, how much I've accomplished in life and things I've been through. What's up, Yanga? What's up, top of the morning? And let me remind me again, you're in South Africa, right? So I have people who watched me from, like, all over the place. So I'll be trying to remember where you guys are tuning in from. And I believe you're in South Africa, which is how many hours ahead? How many hours ahead are you guys? So, yeah, I'm, like, reflecting. I'm like, dang, yo, you have some really interesting experiences. Now, granted, I remember you are from South Africa. So, yeah, I'm, like, reflecting back, and I'm like, dang, like, I know that I have some, like, really interesting experiences, like, life experiences, especially, like, in my early adulthood. I mean, it's no surprise why I wrote an autobiography that I have yet to release, but it's coming, y'all. It's just about the timing, you know? Like, it's coming, right? And I'm going to add some more stuff to it. Hold on. I'm going to add some more stuff to my autobiography, but it's coming in due time. And I'm just like, wow. 6 hours. I knew it was 6 hours. I know that. I was going to say 6 hours. Okay. So, yeah, it's like, wow, guys. Wow. My life is just wow. Okay. I'm preparing you guys for the story that I'm about to tell, because my life is a wow experience. I've had many wow experiences in my life, right? So, I'm pretty sure you guys have too. Like, don't be sitting up here looking at me like, oh, wow, like, damn, girl. Y'all have some pretty interesting, a little bit out of the way experiences, but I don't really consider it out of the way. Like, for me, when I'm living my life, I'm pretty sure when you guys are living your life, you don't look at what you do as, like, so bizarre. But I guess until you fast forward like years down the road and you look back, like how I'm doing right now, I'm looking back and I'm just like, dang, because I actually reflected a couple days ago about this polyandrous experience. Well, I guess you can consider it polyandry, right? Because it's not all about sex. So yes, it was a polyandrous relationship where I was in my early 20s, mid 20s, I guess you can say, 24-ish. And this was after undergrad. So I had already got my bachelor's degree from Florida State University. I graduated class of 2006. And I moved back to my city, my home city of Jacksonville, Florida. I was working on my master's degree. And I had a 2-bedroom apartment, maybe about 10 to 15 minutes away from the beach. So I felt like I was living life. Like girl was in a good position, right? I had purchased my first car. Like I was living life, right? I've always been living life though. And my place, like my dwelling, wherever I live, usually it's always like the hangout spot, right? It's always like the spot where my friends just want to come over and hang out because I make it very welcoming, right? But this spot in particular, it was somewhat like that, but only for like people that were in my inner circle. And so I remember I had one of my best friends, which is a male, no surprise. You know, I get along very well with men. Typically better than women, right? So my best friend, one of my best male friends at the time, cool, right? We were, you know, hanging out. It was always, right? We're hanging out. And I was dating somebody else, right? So it was like, I mean, I guess you can consider it polyandrous, because considering this best male friend, we were dating. We were dating at one point, right? And so he's like always like on my shoulder. Like we were like Siamese twins. We were like this. And does this really bother you guys when I do this? I don't think it does. People make videos when they're eating, okay? People make whole videos when they're just munching on food. So big deal that I'm eating and talking to you guys at the same time. So granted, this guy was like, we were like always like this. I was dating somebody else. And the person I was dating, he was a little bit younger than me. Maybe by 3 years. Alright, I usually don't date guys younger than me, but he was younger than me. But he was a little bit more mature, I guess, in some areas. And he was affiliated with the gang, which is, I guess, no surprise. Because like I said, like, if you look at, I'm just going to give you guys a snippet. Like, I don't want to go too in depth because I reserved that for my autobiography, where I kind of like drop some wow moments up in there, and you guys are like, damn, Danielle, like, whoa, didn't know that was you, didn't know you were capable of that. But yeah, so like, yeah, like I said, I live life. For the people who really know me, know, like, yeah, your girl, y'all think y'all see, like, y'all think y'all know me, but y'all just have no idea, okay? Y'all can, I guess y'all can guesstimate though. Y'all can kind of assume and guess, right? Like, yeah, this girl is, she's different. So yes, I live life, and you know, I'm very adventurous now, like in my 30s. Like that hasn't calmed down, you know, in terms of just, I like to explore, but as far as my risk taking has decreased a little bit. But I definitely took risks, as a lot of young adults do, especially teenagers. Take risks, like you think you just gonna live forever, right? So yeah, I was dating a gang member, so to speak, or a person affiliated with the gang, and he scared me at times too, though. Like, dude was edgy, and so, but he was cute though. I remember, like, dude was cute, and I actually came across his profile on Facebook. I was just like, yo, you look fine, as you still fine. You still fine. What's up? Let me stop. What's happening? But he was cute, taller than me. I like guys who are taller than me, right? Taller than me, slim. He was light complexion. I do like darker skin guys, but he was light complexion. And I didn't know. It's crazy. When I was younger, I just come across guys who have guns, right? And I think it's really not uncommon. You think about it. You guys who are from Florida know what I'm talking about. Florida people, because we know it's definitely legal to carry in Florida, right? And I'm from Florida. Everybody got a gun down there. It's like not uncommon to see somebody with a gun, multiple guns, like on them, on their person, you know. And so I didn't know he had a gun though. That's weird, because I'm always like, when I was younger, I was always coming across guys, dating guys with guns I didn't even know they had, and somehow they just pop out the gun. I'm just like, you don't feel safe around me? But I mean, it's not personal. It's just they just carry guns like wherever they go. That's just how they move, right? So he had a gun, and he was hanging out at my place. And I also had my best friend at the time, another male. So it was two males that I was hanging with, right? And let me tell y'all, this was one of the scariest days of my life, okay? I know y'all were bracing yourself for a titillating story. But no, this story doesn't involve sex, okay? I'll save that for another video, because I know you guys love those kinds of stories, and sometimes I just make them up. But this story is actually real. This is not made up, you guys. This actually happened, and what I'm saying in this video is 100% facts, okay? And when I say it was one of the scariest days of my life, it was. And so I'm trying to recall, like I'm jugging my memory, and like I said, I remember both were there. I'm trying to remember how they got there though. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, how the fuck did they get there? No, I'm trying to think about it. Like, how did this even happen, right? Did I, damn, I can't remember. This was so long ago, guys. We're talking about like 2008, okay? This is like over 12 years ago. So, I'm trying to recall. Okay, maybe my best friend at the time, he was already there. Then the other guy came over. Okay, let's just fast forward. Let's skip that part, how they got there, because I can't even remember how they got there, right? But they got there. They were there. And so, yeah, the younger guy, both actually were younger than me, but one was only like 1 year younger than me, and the other one was like maybe 3 years younger than me at the time. And so the youngest one, okay, let's put it that way, the youngest one, because I don't want to reveal any names here, but the youngest one, that's the one that had the gun. That's the one that was affiliated with the gang, right? This dude became irate. Like, he went from 0 to 100 just by seeing the other guy there. He got triggered. And when I say, like, I fear for my life, and my life really wasn't threatened at that point, but I fear for my life because you just never know what someone is capable of, right? Like, you just, under certain conditions. And so, this guy literally pulled out his gun. I'm not well versed with guns, so I couldn't tell you what kind of gun it was, because I don't know. I never shot a gun. I have no interest in shooting one at all. He pulled out his gun and put it to like the head. He was like he went and approached my other friend who was sitting on the couch, right? He was just chilling, just sitting down there, just like, you know, chilling, laid back like that. Dude went up to his ass and pulled the gun out while he was sitting there and like kind of aimed it at his head and was just threatening him, like, and I can't remember the exact words he was saying, but he was basically threatening him, saying like, you know, gotta get up, like, what are you doing over here, da 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 da. And I immediately intervened because I'm just like, this is not happening in my apartment. Like, this ain't about to go down here. Okay? It can go down outside, but it ain't about to go down inside my apartment. Like, that's the last thing I need to happen, right? And especially, like, could you imagine? Could you imagine the mess? Like, seriously. And granted, like I said, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. Some of y'all know, some of y'all don't know, but it is like high crime ridden city. Like, I guess it's a nice place. Some people go there, they retire, you know. I don't know why people go there for vacation, because it's really nothing, no attractions there in my eyes anyway. Like, that's a deaf city. Like, that's how I look at it. That's why I got away from Jacksonville, Florida, because it is, how they call it, the bang 'em where they hang 'em. Like, it's just a place that, I don't know, it really has nothing to offer. It's nothing really, I don't know. I mean, people live there, and, you know, my family still lives there, and they like it, I guess. It's good enough for them, but it wasn't good enough for me. Let's say that. You know, I felt like I just wanted to explore, right? I felt like I had more opportunities elsewhere. So I got the hell up out of Dodge. But, I mean, yeah, Jacksonville is one of those places. It's just like, yeah, everybody carrying a gun. People are not afraid to pull the trigger. Like, it goes down. It goes down in Duval County. And so, yeah, it wasn't like unlikely that he would do that. You know what I'm saying? Like literally pull the trigger. And so, like, I intervened, and I was just like, no, like, stop, chill out. What are you doing? And he was just like, but honestly, I think what it was, I think it was just his male ego, right? Because, like, y'all men do stuff like that, right? Like, I think he was just him trying to establish his territory, like, as if I'm property or something, right? Or trying to establish his territory, like, hey, this is mine, like, step back kind of thing. Which at the time, yes, my friend was interested in me, but we weren't dating, so to speak. But we had a bond. Let's put it that way. We had a bond, right? But we weren't engaged sexually. Okay, so, you know, I guess that would be the distinguishing factor there. We wasn't engaged, like, we engaged sexually, but yeah, we had a special kind of bond, a special kind of connection. I think that he felt jealous of that connection that we had, because it was different than what I had with the gang member, I guess, so to speak, right? So yeah, that moment, like, I remember that moment like it happened yesterday. That moment was frightening, because all I remember is, like, the gun pointed at my best friend's dome, right? But I'm looking at my best friend's reaction, and he's just sitting there like, like, I've been through this before, which I think he has been, like, they call it pistol whip. He has, like, you know, had a gun pulled out on him. A lot of people have. I mean, comment below if you ever had a gun pulled out on you. But I guess not in this situation. And some of y'all can look at this like, oh, well, that's your fault. You set that up. Oh, I ain't got shit to do with it. Listen, I have nothing to do with people's behaviors and their actions and their choices. Like, that was all what he chose to do, you know. Yes, it was my apartment, but I'm like, I'm a grown-ass woman. I have the right to have friends. I have the right to invite whoever the hell I want to over my place. And how you respond to that, that's completely within your power, within your hands, and those are your actions, not mine. So, no, I don't say that was my fault, right? But I felt bad for, you know, my best friend at the time, right? The one that was sitting down on the couch, because I'm like, damn, I would hate to be in your shoes. And, you know, maybe he felt it was my fault. Like, you got your dude, like, you got this man, like, trying to kill me. And it's just like, I didn't know he was about to do that. Like, that was completely random, like, off the cuff. Like, dude just pulled the gun out and, like, aimed it and had his hand on his finger on the trigger. And I'm just like, please, like, I jumped in the way, and I was just like pulling him off to the side, like, chill out, don't do this, like, this isn't not gonna be happening in my place. Like, you want to fight, you need to go outside, put that gun away, because I'm not trying to be sitting up here cleaning up no freaking blood, filing no police report. Like, I want no parts of this at all. So after I begged and pleaded for him to step away, step back, exit my apartment, like, it took a while, but he was able to exit and calm his ass down. That's the thing about those young guys. Young guys be trying to hit on me, and I'm just like, no, sweetheart. Because it's like, the thing, it's a difference. Not to say older men aren't rambunctious like this, but y'all young guys, man, y'all be like, have this thing, this ego about y'all, and this energy that y'all think y'all can just live forever, I guess, right? Y'all take all kinds of, crazy risks, uncalculated risks. Like, imagine, that could have easily went the other way. And granted, most guys that I hung with, like, most guys I dated or was really good friends with back in the day, like, everybody carried guns, you know what I'm saying? And they knew how to shoot those guns too. And so, what if my other friend, who was sitting on the couch, had his gun on him? And then he had the ego, but she didn't have an ego issue. So that was good, right? Because imagine two guys would both have egos, right? Big ego issues, right? That would have not worked out. But he was able to help me neutralize the situation by just remaining calm, right? And he was just looking up at the other dude, like, seriously, like, really, So I think, that helped neutralize the situation, because it kind of communicated, like, yo, I'm not afraid of you, and what you're doing is stupid. He didn't even say anything out of his mouth. He just said everything with his body language. And I was just like, damn, you good. You good. You know how to do this, Pretty personally, like, we always say we will do in a situation, like, if we ever got a gun pulled on us, but who really knows, right? Some people will really freak out, lose their shits, but he remained calm. I had much respect for him after that. But, of course, you guys know there's no, like, question as to what happened following that incident. Like, I got rid of his dude. Like, I completely banned his ass. Like, nah, you can't be doing that. That is completely unacceptable. Like, it's one thing to be upset and angry, but you're not about to be sitting up here threatening people's lives, and taking people's lives, over some bullshit. And I want to talk about the jealousy component and how what happened there, that's just an example of what you see, like, in a lot of relationships or entanglements or whatever you want to call it, where, there's, let's say, two men or, one woman or, one woman, how do I say this? There's multiple women, right? Usually it's multiple women and one man in that kind of situation, right? And you have women that, they find, like, oh, there's another woman, right, involved. And that woman, those women fight. And the interesting part to me is they fight each other. They never fight the middle person. Like, the energy is never really directed at the mutual person. Thank God. In that case, because I don't know, y'all. It probably really would have, it really got turned out. Because I respond differently. Like, I'm going to let you know that right now. Yeah. All that calm shit, I don't know how that shit would have turned out. But I just find that interesting. It's just like, why are you mad at him? Why not say something? He was not even mad at me at all. Maybe he was. It's just misdirected anger. But he definitely directed his anger towards the other guy sitting down. And I was just like, come on, man. I'm sweating. My AC just turned off. I'm just like, come on, man. Don't do this. This can't happen. But I definitely learned a lot from that encounter. And I was relatively young. Like I said, I was like 24 years old. Actually, probably maybe 23. I was young, yo. I think I was closer to 23. And I was like, oh my gosh, this cannot be happening. I was definitely a wake-up call. And I realized that, okay, we basically have an alpha male and a beta male here. The beta male, no question. The beta male was the one that sat, was sitting down. And I wouldn't say that, they were alpha and beta because of that scenario. But that's just looking at their personalities. Like, that's just what it was. Like, and it's good that it was alpha and beta. Because there was two alphas, that situation would have ended totally different. And which leads me to wonder, which someone brought up in a comment in another one of my videos about me being interested in polyandry. This person said, well, do you really think you can find like two alpha males who will be interested in that kind of arrangement, with polyandry? I'm just like, yeah, I think anything is possible. Like, can't put nothing past me, first of all. But then you think about it, I think back to that situation, I'm just like, they gotta be really two strong alpha men. They have to be really strong alpha men. What do y'all think? Can two strong alpha men coexist under the same roof with one woman? Without it being a territorial issue. Because we already know that men inherently are territorial, but then you add the alpha. You add the alpha on top of that too. What is that gonna look like? We don't need a situation where motherfuckers pulling guns out and want to kill. That ain't happening. Like, But especially at this age, I really doubt that would ever happen again. Especially at the age I'm at now. Like, I think men can handle shit differently, more maturely, what I'm saying, more responsibly, because that definitely was not responsible. And it's just like, dude, you pulling a gun out on somebody. My dad always taught me this, like, he taught me how to shoot a gun, which I didn't want to shoot the gun, right? But he went outside, he took me outside when I was younger and was just like, showed me the gun, the parts of the gun, and, he demonstrated how to shoot it. He was like, you try it. And I was like, that ain't my thing. But I remember him telling me, like, if you ever pull a gun out on a person, then you have to shoot them. Like, no question asked. Like, you have to shoot them if you pull a gun out. So, yeah. Like, that situation, dude definitely wasn't thinking responsibly. Because I'm like, dude, you pull a gun out on somebody, that means, like, you have a hit on your head. You should have a hit on your head, but my other friend, he didn't retaliate. He just like charged to the game. Like, he already know, what I'm saying? He charged to the game, just like, he knew what it was about. He knew that it was about jealousy. And the reason to be jealous, but in his mind, he felt he had a reason to be, threatened or jealous, because I guess he felt like, oh, there's a dude trying to take my woman. When granted, I mean, we did date. Now, that's the thing. Like, we did end up dating, but, we wasn't dating, like, at that point. That's the thing. Like, at that point in time, when that happened on that day, we wasn't dating. But we did date after that, Like, we were just best friends, and we still are best friends, but we were, like, building up to that point. Like, dude. You need to chill your ass out. I wonder if he remembers that. Because we're friends on Facebook now. The little gangster. Both of them are kind of like gangsters, though. Living that rough life. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Don't do this. Not on my watch. A lot of white people say, not on my watch. Yo, that shit scared the shit out of me, yo. The bejesus out of my ass. I was like, oh, hell nah. Shit done got real. Let me know if y'all ever experienced anything like that. Because I know I ain't the only one. But shit had got real that day. I was just like, oh, hell nah. But that didn't necessarily discourage me from the idea of dating, you know, more than one man at the same time, because it's about consent. So we have to sit down and have a talk about this. You can't just be popping up with more than one guy and they don't know about each other and they're like, what the fuck? Who is this? Who the hell is motherfucking this? But now you think about it though. Where I'm from, guys will do that anyway. It ain't even gotta be about no like relationship or romantic stuff, right? It could just be about who the fuck is you. But I can tell it was definitely about that though. I mean, people already like black people like look at each other like, you know, like if you step in a room, right, and you don't know somebody, like black people already be like kind of like, you know, gotta establish like, okay, you over there, I'm here, like I don't know you, you know, we don't fuck with each other kind of thing, right? It's stupid. It really is stupid. But I definitely think it was that added layer of jealousy there too that really made him pull the gun. I'm like, he literally pulled the gun. Like, who does that? Pull a gun out. Like, that was so disrespectful, not only to the other guy that he pulled the gun on, but it was disrespectful to me in my place. Like, no. So you know that ended. That shit ended right there. I'm just like, nah, we cannot talk. But, you know, we're friends on Facebook now, but I don't really communicate with him. Just like, hell nah. But going forward though, of course I'm interested in a polyandrous relationship. It just will have to be open communication, you know. That's how you do it. You sit down and you talk, and it's only appropriate that everybody knows everybody, right? Who's involved. Like, can't be bringing in question mark motherfuckers. And that's going to create a whole situation, a whole issue, right? Like, they don't know each other and they pop up and you just like, they think they're the only one too, right? And it's just like, who is this person? Who you, Bo? Like, who is you? Yeah, it's better. So that's how I go about it now. And that's it. And I know some of you guys ask me like to talk about like, you know, or even bring these guys on camera. And I'm very careful about like people I date. Like in terms of sharing like information, personal details about like dating and like bringing these people on. I feel like, no, I'm very protective of my personal life. And granted, you guys feel probably that I'm an open book and I share, and I do share, but I share very strategically. Like, I know what I'm doing. I share, trust me, I think it through before I come on here and I start talking to you guys about anything relating to my personal life, because you just have to do it that way, right? And so definitely when it comes to like partners, intimate partners, you know, dating, husband material, excuse me, I wouldn't bring those guys on here. It's for obvious reasons, obviously, right? Like, no, I couldn't do that, but I will like have discussions and talk to you guys about certain experiences. So there's a difference. And I think once I'm secure in those relationships and they are more solidified, then yeah, it would be okay for me to bring those people, as long as they're okay with it. Because not everybody is like camera friendly. Not everybody wants to be on camera, you know, and have their life out there like that, right? I tend to be attracted to guys who don't really like the camera. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay with being on camera, but I'm very careful about my business that's on camera, you know? Whereas like the guys that I affiliate myself with don't really care. They don't really care for like being on camera. So it's interesting because I have guys who are like camera fanatics, right? They like the attention that they get from being on camera. But they like me, but I already know in the back of my mind like it wouldn't work anyway because they're too attention starved. And that's not a good situation, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like I like to be low key. And when people like to just get attention and be on camera, that can be problematic. So, yeah, I think you guys probably would never be able to see the guys that I date. But, I mean, you can hear stories. I'm always open to sharing stories, too. Let me know if you guys have any questions, though, because that experience obviously is one of the most memorable moments that I've had that I can think of. And there are others. Like, there are other times where I've dated more than one guy at the same time and they didn't know about each other. Y'all men do it. See, don't come over here judging, because y'all men do it too, okay? Y'all be having a lot of women. Y'all can't even keep up with their names. That's how many women y'all be having. Y'all be doing y'all thing too. I think it's just a human thing. It's not a male or female thing. It's just a human thing, you know? People like to have options, right? And there's some things that I know y'all are really irritated and annoyed when I'm chewing, because some of y'all be watching me. Y'all be all up in my mouth. But there are some things that one partner may bring to the table that the other person just may not bring. And when I posted that picture about it'll be nice to be pampered like this, where this woman was sitting back and she had two men around her in that picture, the meme that I posted, and I said, this would be nice for my birthday. Like, that's me right there all the way. I like stuff like that. And yes, for you guys who are doubting and unbelieving, there are men who are very much well open to that kind of relationship. You know, they don't mind catering to a woman and being one of multiple men who do so. So it's not something that's unheard of. Now, granted, you know, you have like a handful of so-called polyandrous relationships, and I've come across them on social media. But my thing with those relationships, and I have one in mind that really sticks out. She's on IG, and she's supposed to have, I think, like 3 husbands. I don't know, but yeah, she's trending now, and I'm like, okay, it sounds good, like the way she described it, and I think in her mind, she's like, oh, I have multiple husbands. But then as she begins to go deeper and tell her story, and they're telling her story in an interview, to me, that's not really appealing. That, okay, your husbands that you say that you have, right? And you're like, oh, I'm polyandrous, but these husbands have multiple female partners that you haven't even met, and they're in different states. And it's just like, what kind of arrangement is that? Like, you are having sex with men who are having sex with women that you don't even know. That, to me, is a turn off, right? And it makes it seem like it's more of a polyamorous relationship. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference. There's a big distinction between the two. Because we're talking about intimacy and love, something that is sacred. And a certain special kind of arrangement that it goes beyond the sexual component. Granted, sex is cool and all, but sometimes people get so fixated on sex. That's the only thing that brings them together, is the sex. And that's not what I'm talking about here. And I speak of polyandry, you know, like sex, yes, is a part of any relationship, but god dang, that should not be the center focus of the relationship, or the thing that, you know, brings everyone involved together. And so as this woman is talking about her polyandrous relationships, like, she's just, I mean, kind of fixated on sex. That's like the main focus, and I get it. That's what people like to hear, I guess, you know. So it has like this entertainment component aspect of it. That's why she's talking about it. But I'm like, okay, I would rather hear like you talk about other parts of the relationship, the intimacy. Like, what about cooking? What about bills? But they don't even share a roof together. So to me, there's nothing special about that. Like, people are like all ranting and raving, and, you know, in response to that arrangement, this woman is talking about this, you know, and I'm just like, at first I was interested and I was a little intrigued by it, the whole idea or thought, like, oh, there's a black woman who has, what, 3 or 4 husbands. It's like, oh, it can be done, right? So I was kind of motivated initially, but then as I got to learn more about it, I'm just like, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed by a woman who can fuck multiple men, because that's nothing. What is that? Like, that's nothing. A lot of women can do that. Like, the challenge comes where you can get multiple men to agree to an in-house relationship where you become the central focus as the woman, and they don't have other partners. Like, that to me is more sacred. That's something to brag about. But bragging about, oh, I got so-called multiple husbands, when these guys, these men have other wives, and they have other female partners that they fucking, and you don't even know half of the ones they're fucking. So that was my issue. I'm like, y'all doing it all wrong. But listen, everybody, you do your polyandry how you want to do your polyandry, but I'm not impressed by that. It's nothing special about that to me. Because that's what people already do anyway. Like, you're talking about an arrangement that's pretty much normal. And they're treating it like it's something special. Like it's unusual. It's not unusual. You got women that do that already. And they don't live with these men. But they got about 10 different Dick and Harrys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess she thinks it's special because these men do know each other. So these multiple men that she called her husbands, they know each other, and they've come together and done interviews, and I think they also like do business together too. So it's kind of, you know, more of an enterprise now. And okay, that's cool, but to me that's still not unusual. That's nothing unusual. You have women that do that, like female entrepreneurs that have relationships with men. I have, you know, from a business perspective. And all you're doing is just fucking your business partners. Like, I just don't see anything unique about that. Like I said, it would be more unique if they actually all lived together under the same roof, and there was a level of commitment to her. Like, they're committed to her, but they're also committed to their own, like their own situations too, right? Their own other wives. That sounds like an open relationship, and I've come across many of partners like that, you know, where, you know, they have an open relationship and it works for them. But that's not special to me. I don't know, it's just not. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm curious to see what y'all think about that, but that's nothing special. I have yet to come across a black woman who can say that she has successfully created and maintain a polyandrous relationship with men. They don't really have to all be alpha either, because sometimes it's better that you have that balance with alpha and beta male energy. So, but I have yet to come across that, and I think I might be the first. We're gonna see. Show y'all how it's supposed to be done here, you know. And granted, I'm a submissive woman, so that's another thing. Some people say they doubt that it's gonna be possible to do something like that. Me being submissive and having that kind of relationship with alpha men, right? Or, you know, one alpha male and beta males there. I'm just like, no, listen, I already have that. You guys really don't know about it and haven't seen it, but it's already in the making, guys, okay? I'm already talking, guys, like, they're open to it. They understand it definitely isn't about the sex. Sex is a component. But I think it's about building, you know what I'm saying? You're building a tribe, you're building something that wouldn't be possible to accomplish with just two people, right? You know, so that's what it really is about, because obviously 3 or more heads is better than one, and when you pull those resources together, like, you can create magic. So that's what it's really about. And it becomes a family dynamic. It's not just about, okay, these peripheral partners are pleasing this one person. Like, no, we are a whole family unit here. I can go on and on, but I'm about to end this video. I'll catch you guys later. Let me know what you guys think. Love you guys. Bye.